All right, so I'm going to do the 12th cognitive bias listed in Charlie Munger's book, which is the excessive self-regard tendency. And I don't think that this is a mystery to most people, that people tend to over-evaluate themselves and overvalue the accomplishments of those that they love the most and feel the most close to. Like, it's just a fact, but another thing about this that's annoying is people are aware of this knowledge. So then if you really are good at something and you're just honest about it instead of doing this stupid fake self-modesty nonsense, people say that you just think you're good because of this bias, and it's not always the case. Like 90% of Swiss drivers think they're in the top 10% of Swiss drivers. So you can see how this bias muddles up thinking and takes people away from reality. But 10% of Swiss drivers, if they answered that way, were actually telling the truth, while the other 80% were over-evaluating their talents. So this is one of the things where a majority of the people are over-evaluating themselves, but then a small minority of them are actually just realistically accessing reality. So this is definitely a weird thing, because there's a quote that says, "Never underestimate a man who overestimates himself." So sometimes this excessive self-regard bias can actually make people achieve more, but it can definitely make you overestimate. Like, a lot of people lose a lot of money gambling and in the lottery and stuff because they overestimate their ability to make good bets or to pick the right lottery numbers. Like, more people are apt to buy lottery tickets if you let them pick their numbers than if you just randomly assign the numbers, even though mathematically speaking the odds remain pretty much the exact same. But they have like this delusion that they're like masters at picking the ultimate number, and so it gets people in trouble a lot of ways. But like I said before, the point of these videos is just to make you know that these exist. And I wanted to just add that just because people tend to overestimate themselves doesn't mean that everything you're good at you're not really good at, and you're just overestimating your abilities. Like, you just need to learn to weigh evidence objectively. Like, if you think you're strong, then go and test your strength against things, and then look up like what's average and what's good and everything. And people have done all this research. So if you're some monstrous beast of a man and you're putting up a 500-pound bench press, then it's pretty accurate for you to assume that you're a strong human being. Like, you can go look and see that not very many people do that, especially if we're talking a raw bench without all these bench shirts and all that nonsense. Whereas if you think you're all massive because you finally managed to bench press 135 10 times, well, if you look up the numbers, you'll see that there's a lot of other people who have accomplished that feat, and you're not quite as strong as you think you are. So, and it can go that way with everything. If you think you're super fast and you run the 100 meters in 14 seconds, and see it doesn't really compare that good compared to the rest of the world. But if you're running like a sub 11, then you're up there, especially if you're in the low 10s, and then you're really fast. So you can measure things objectively to get over this tendency, and that's what I suggest you do.